End of a big week here at Faith and Action. It's Friday. It's a bit of a down day for us, meaning that we don't have anything formal on the schedule. Allows us to kind of regroup and collect ourselves and do all those things that we don't have time to do when we're engaged in frontline ministry. And as you saw this week, there was quite a bit of that. But a lot of people ask me what goes on behind the scenes at Faith and Action. And there is a whole lot that happens here that we don't even have time or enough space on our website or in our mailed materials like newsletters and so on to even tell you. And there is a whole sidebar that I want to make you aware of. You hear about some of the big splashy events like yesterday's National Prayer Breakfast, for example, and what happened there. And you'll see us in a news conference or when we do our outreaches like the one that we're getting geared up for now. Already we're getting ready for resurrection season, Easter, when we literally visit every single member of Congress with a personalized Easter message of the gospel. And you'll see us when we're out doing something very visible, but there's a lot that goes on behind closed doors, if you will, here. Can't tell you everything. And there is some stuff going on right now. If I told you, it would close more doors than open. So I always have to be very cautious about that, especially on a platform like YouTube here. But I can tell you this much. We just had a visit from a delegation of ministries that are working together to assist persecuted Christians in Iraq who are now displaced and in places like Jordan and Syria. And there's a reason they come to us. One is because we have long established relationships with lawmakers here in Washington, with the administration, and with other groups that advocate on behalf of those who are living under religious oppression or persecution. I sit on the board of the Institute on Religion and Public Policy. Joe Grabowski and his team are doing a fabulous job on this critical matter of helping people who are living under religious oppression in their countries. And of course, the United States has both a moral platform and the capacity to influence these other countries and give relief to our brothers and sisters in Christ. So while these groups are advocating for Christians where they are suffering, we can advocate for them here in Washington with the people we have built relationships with. Now, you are going to see a couple of videos go up about this. They treat it in very limited scope. As you can imagine, it's very sensitive and could come back to hurt the very people we're trying to help. So we can only tell you a very limited amount about it. I had 3 meetings in the last week on this very subject. And do you know, I was one of the very first people to raise the question about Iraqi Christians. Iraq has one of the oldest Christian communities in the world, consistent Christian presence. And remarkably, they survived the Saddam Hussein years quite well, actually. And there's a reason for that, which we can't explore here for lack of time. But once the governmental structure changed there, they were put at risk. And I raised that question in the very early phases of the construction of a new government in Iraq because of language that was placed in their new constitution and so forth. Well, some of that was heeded because other groups joined with us in our concerns. A lot of it was not. And so the present situation for Christians in Iraq is, believe it or not, in some ways worse than it was under Saddam Hussein. So we're trying to do what we can to assist those groups who are helping our ancient brothers and sisters in Christ, if you will, this long-established Christian community. But there's also a very vibrant Catholic community, which is a little bit newer than the Chaldeans, for example, and the Assyrian Christians who are there. and brand new evangelical groups. And so we're trying to assist all these Christians, and we do that very much behind the scenes because it's sensitive, but also because there just isn't time to tell you everything that we do here on an hour-by-hour basis. We'd be sending you so many videos and emails, you'd get sick of it. Believe me, you'd be deleting and opting out. So we have to be judicious about what we send to you for so many different reasons. And I'll just mention this last item. I told you a couple of days ago about the allied ministries that are sharing our facilities now, here now. And one of those, well, not really an allied ministry, but there is another organization that will be using our facility once a month for strategy meetings on advancing religious freedom here in the United States and around the world. So there's never true downtime here. Today will be a very busy, very long day, even though it's officially a relaxed Friday. As you can see, I'm tieless. Hope I don't cause the same controversy that President Obama is in the White House. Well, this is just my humble office. Okay, I've talked on too long. I'll see you Monday with a report on what next week will bring. Have a great weekend. Blessings.